Hello, Lotus Heart Tarot. I'm so happy to have you joining me. We are going to dive right into your reading. All right, let's see. We are going to start off with some shadow cards here. And we're going to see what we're up against, right? What could be overcome if we step into our highest vibration, to our highest and best energy. Could be you, could be your person. Take it as it resonates, always. Listen to your own intuition. Don't take anything and make it yours if it doesn't feel like something you already thought was true. Wow. Jeez, these cards, whoa. That just hit me somewhere so deep inside, you guys. All right, on the bottom of the deck, you have skeleton, a curse of bones, time and dust, things that were never meant to last. Guys, not everything is meant to last forever. It just isn't. My dad was like, he's pretty much a genius, but he was a very prolific businessman. And he would always say that, all the things that are done to sort of prop up businesses or to keep them from failing, he thought we shouldn't do them because they weren't meant, businesses were meant to come and go. New innovations, new inventions, new priorities, businesses that were not run by people who had the highest and best of the business. Their businesses deserved to fail, not to be propped up. And so he would always say these kinds of things. And, take that as it resonates. That's an opinion, right? And I'm not standing by it or not standing by it. That was just his opinion. And it feels like this right here. It's that, sometimes we try to prevent the tower from falling. There are tower cards in different tarot decks that you can almost feel that like someone is literally trying to hold something together with all their might. But if they just let go, that tower could fall and that space would be clear and we could get to work building something that was going to last instead of spending all of our energy trying to hold that up, trying to prop it up, trying to keep it from falling. And, when we are in a tower moment, none of us like tower moments. When I first started reading tarot cards and a tower moment would come, a tower would come up, I would kind of panic. I would get this feeling in my heart and my stomach. I would get kind of hot. I would feel really bad. I just thought towers are never good because the tower moments in my life had never, I wasn't looking at them like they were good. And that's been part of the beautiful, brilliant journey of reading tarot every day is that I have come to peace with all the energies in the tarot deck. Because when you're a reader and you're sitting at it, looking at it from above, you see how beautiful they all are. You see the good part of it. You see the light of it. And, towers are divine intervention. They are, something is built on a faulty foundation. And no matter how high we build it, no matter how much we try to fortify it, until we let that tower fall and we start over building that foundation, it will always have a faulty foundation. It will always be vulnerable. It will always be weak. It will always be something that we have to take extraordinary measures and put way too much of our energy toward keeping upright. And so sometimes when we can just admit it and just acknowledge it and just let it go, it is for the highest and best of everyone, not just us. And I know some of you are dealing with, people who are in other relationships who are trying to keep them afloat. And some of them are using you for, the energy to make that happen, to be able to go back into those situations and keep holding them together. And it's like, if you cut them off, they won't have the strength to keep that tower held together. And that might be what's in the highest and best of all. But I can tell you it's not in your highest and best to keep bolstering them so they can bolster something else, right? I mean, if your friend came to you and asked you about that, what would you tell them? You have to be your own best friend. But we do it, right? We do it because we have compassion, because we sense that person's hurt, their fragility, their woundedness, and we want to help them. And it comes from a good place, but even within our good places, there are shadows. Think about the yin and yang symbol, right? It's all about balance. There is bad in the good, and there is good in the bad. There is light in the darkness, and there is dark in the lightness. And we have to be willing to face all of it. All of it. And that's what it is, the boogeyman. It says, as life unfolds and shadows overpower light, will my innocence be left untouched? Why do we hold things together? Because we don't want to feel the ache and the pain and the ripping and the searing and the singeing of the loss. We don't want to feel what it feels when that tower falls apart, when everything that we have tried to build doesn't last, doesn't survive, doesn't make it. It plays with our ego and our pride. You know, we all like to think we're master builders in life. We all like to think that what we're building to last, that we're going in with the best of intentions, and that if we put our hardest work and all of our best into it, it will thrive, it will survive. But I'm here to tell you that even when you do that, it doesn't always thrive, it doesn't always survive, because it's not meant to. For some reason, I just got the energy of medical research. Take it as it resonates. I have no idea why. You have the mirror here, self-examination, understanding, acceptance. So when we are trying to keep those towers from falling, when we are muscling our way to holding them up, to holding them together, that is one of our greatest opportunities. Because it is in finding the source of what's driving us to prevent it from falling that we find our answers, that we find that barrier that is preventing us from having the real thing. We're finding the glitch in our system. We're finding the fault in our foundation. It's a gift. It's divine intervention. Divine is benevolent. Divine loves us. Divine is always seeking to bring us closer to our highest and best self. So let's not be afraid of those towers. Let's see what we can learn from those towers. Let's face our fears. This could be you, this could be your person, and this could be both. Quite frequently, relationships are the things that have us facing this. And, you know, I've been there. I have absolutely been there. I'm still there. You know, I share a lot of my story with you guys, because I don't know how else better to illuminate the pictures that I get, the feelings that I get, the nudges that I get, other than my own experience. It always shows me my own experience, because that's how I relate. And I've definitely stood here, and it's definitely been worth it. In fact, this, facing the boogeyman, has been some of the most worthwhile stuff I've ever done in my life. Personally, me with me. And the more you face your fear, the less you're afraid of. And the less you're afraid of, man, the better life gets. Somebody is going through this. Whether it's you, whether it's your person, or whether you're mirroring each other, and it's happening to both of you. But there is some self-examination happening. There is a deeper level of understanding happening, and acceptance is happening. And those things that need to fall, when we accept it, we let it fall, right? I'm still trying to find myself. You are special to me, even though I told you otherwise. Karma is a bitch. I finally got mine. I'm doing what I have to do right now. I've thought about reaching out to you, but then I've stopped myself. I care too much what other people think right now. I still remember the good times we shared. Some of these may relate to you. All of them may relate to you. None of them may relate to you. Listen to your own intuition. Take what resonates and leave the rest. But we can definitely see in these cards, and it's interesting because not all of these cards are like this, right? That you have someone who is still trying to figure out who they are. And, karma is the great equalizer, right? It is the great balance holder in space and time and life and existence and experience, And karma is, it's so interesting. I actually had a cat once named Karma. And she was kind of amazing. I went with my mom to she was adopting a cat at the Humane Society. And she found this cat she fell in love with, who she later named Sedona. And there was this little gray and white kitten, and it clearly had been weaned too early, and it was just struggling. And I'm not even really a cat person, but this little cat, it came to me, and I tried giving it to my brother who was there. I tried giving it to my mother. I tried convincing my mother to adopt it, but this cat loved me. It wanted me. It needed me. And I was like, I can't leave this cat here. So I adopted the cat. I didn't even call my husband. I didn't anything. I couldn't leave the cat there. So I adopt the cat. I come home. My brother adopted a cat. My mom adopted, all of us adopted cats that day. And so we get home, and my husband is like, absolutely not. No, my husband does not like cats. He's a dog person, and he doesn't like cats. We had a cat when we first got together, and when she died, he was like, this is the last cat ever. And but I just had to. But he was like, absolutely not. And he refused to let me bring it home. And he never puts his foot down. He always gives me everything I want. And I guess I just maybe assumed too much that day that he would. And I didn't want to call him and ask him. And so, but adopting a life, you really should. That was not good on my part. That was definitely my fault. But interestingly enough, my mom was like, okay, fine, I'll take her, because she was so cute, and I'd already named her Karma, and I just loved her. And how funny was that her name was Karma? So I loved her. So I would go over to my parents' house and I would visit her, and it actually made me visit my parents a lot more. But my parents eventually left, and they had to take Karma with them. And so my mom was saddled with this cat forever, that I had adopted and couldn't take. And it was kind of funny to me that, karma, how karma plays out. It doesn't play out like an eye for an eye. It doesn't play out like, okay, you cheated on me, now you're going to get cheated on. And you can see how it feels. Because being cheated on to a cheater might not be that big a deal. It might not. They may know what cheating is inside and out and just not care. They may even feel like they deserve it. Like, oh, well, that's karma. You know what I mean? But maybe having to live without you, maybe that's their karma. Maybe, losing something that really mattered to them. Maybe that's what it takes for them to have that balance be restored. But it's interesting because that card, Karma's a Bitch, I finally got mine. It's making me feel like this person's life kind of fell apart, or they've taken quite a few hits since walking away from you. Maybe because it's divine intervention. Maybe they weren't supposed to walk away from you. But maybe they did out of cowardice or out of whatever. Maybe they're running away from their soul purpose, and the universe is trying to guide them back toward it. Who knows? There's all kinds of explanations, but I try to be open to all of them because I know I'm just human. Sometimes you have to just let things play out. You just have to acknowledge that there are a whole lot of things that could be true, and that you're going to let the universe show you which one is meant to be, you know? And I think that karma really taught this person a lesson, because now they're really focused on doing the right thing. I'm just trying to do what I have to right now. They're trying to put one foot in front of the other. They're trying to get themselves out of some kind of hole they've gotten themselves into. And you know, I feel like this person didn't treat you right. They may have said things that were not true, or not said things. Oh gosh, you guys, the snake is back. The snake is in my window and Bhakti's gonna bark at it. Oh, it's just slithering through my bushes. Oh, what a weird time for that. Oh, Bhakti, stop. Oh, Bhakti, I know, I see the snake. I see it too. Come here, Bubby Butt. It's outside. It's catching mosquitoes. We have to remember that snakes are good. They're an important part of the world. We gotta calm down. We gotta take some breaths. No, Bubba, come here. The snake is doing good things for us outside. He's protecting us in his own way, too. He's working with you, not against you, Bubby. Come here, Pantsy Pants. Come here. Come on. He probably senses my anxiety, but I'm calmer now that I am remembering how things are. Okay, but I don't think anything happens by coincidence, so that snake is definitely a reason. And also, what I always think of when it comes to snakes and tarot is the shedding of the skin so that we can grow. We have to let go of who we used to be and what we used to think, and the ways we limited ourselves in order to open up to all the possibilities, in order to grow, in order to get bigger, to expand, to become more and bigger and better than we were before. And so there is definitely a shedding of skin that is definitely being portrayed in these cards. I just cannot believe the snake came right now. Bubby, it's okay. It really is. Yeah, he's doing a good job out there. Yeah, he's your buddy. Yeah, he's your buddy. As long as he's on that side of the glass, he's your buddy. Yeah. You need some buddies. You want honey back. She comes back tomorrow. Okay, and so anyway, I feel like this person, out of that limited space, you know, before they had shed their skin, what they were willing to open up, to accept, to live, to risk, to be courageous about, you know, it caused them to chicken out on this relationship. It caused them to chicken out on something that was going to ask them to shed their skin and grow. And they blew it up. So they broke it. So they made choices that didn't support it. And I do think that part of this person's karma is that they're having to live without you. They're thinking about reaching out to you, but then they're stopping themselves. Why are they stopping themselves? They care too much what other people think right now. They're vulnerable. They have placed their happiness, they have given their power away to the outside world. They have placed their happiness in the hands of the external world, of what is outside. Good boy. That is a good boy. See what happens when we face our fears? You guys, I'm terrified of snakes. But just because I have this snake that I saw in my pool enclosure, it's the same snake that was out there. He's helping me overcome my fears. Like, what a beautiful gift that snake is giving to me. Oh my gosh, it's like almost kind of bringing tears to my eyes. I'm like terrified of snakes, and it actually keeps me from doing things that I love. Like, I love being in nature, and I like at the core of my being a nature photographer. And there are places that I will not go because I'm afraid of snakes. But I feel I am way more able now to catch my breath and to calm down. And that's what it is. When we stand in front of the boogeyman and we face our fears. I just literally cannot believe the snake came during this reading. This is so trippy. Like, there are no accidents. There are only miracles. Seriously. I really do believe that. So, look what happens when we face our fears. I like, when I first saw the snake, I started freaking out. You heard me work through my fear. And now I am calmer, and I'm calmer in a like grounded way, in a lasting way. Like I'm integrating getting over my fear into my system way. Yeah, that's powerful shit right there, guys. I'm not afraid of very much, but I am definitely afraid of snakes. Okay. So anyway, and this person, they are afraid of the way other people see them. And when you are motivated and afraid of how others see you, you are not living your life authentically. You are not living it for you. And your happiness relies on the approval of other people who will give you, they dish out, praise and approval on their own whim. It isn't even necessarily merit-based. It isn't even necessarily like, yeah, you did the right thing, let me be proud of you, then you can feel good about yourself. No, it's not. It's like, what do I want right now? What kind of mood am I in right now? Do I have it in me to bolster you right now, or, not? I mean, it's a fickle place, the world. It's that wheel of fortune, and it's riding that outside wheel. And it's like, sometimes you're up and sometimes you're down. And life can be a very wild roller coaster ride when you are placing that much importance outside yourself. The more you bring it closer to yourself and your center, the easier your ride. Right? The more grounded you are there in the center, and you can watch, the world's going to go by no matter what. It's how do you ride it? Where are you in all those minor arcanas? The major arcanas are coming no matter what. You can't stop them. That's the universe. Those forces are beyond your control. The forces that are within your control are the minor arcanas. So how are you sitting with those? This person is thinking about the good times that you shared, missing those times, wanting to reach out to you, and stopping themselves because they have placed importance and given their power away to the outside world, to outside validation. They're still trying to find themselves. They're not going to find themselves until they pull their power in, until they give their power back to themselves, until they call that power home. Till they face their fear and look at themselves. All right. Let's dive in with a little pining rose and see what happens here. Oh, the misery of not being willing to shed your skin, not being willing to let the tower fall. Jeez. You're in separation from this person. I feel, if this is your story, you're not probably talking very much to this person. I feel like you're not seeing this person. I feel like if you were with this person, you're not with this person right now. I feel like they are still pining after you. I feel like they're definitely thinking about reaching out. They're definitely watching you. Anything that you may have given them, any little note, any little text, any little DM, any little anything that they still have, they're holding on to it very tightly in this time. They are revisiting it. They are rereading it. There is like a vacuum that happens when you stop making new memories with someone and you can only hold on to the ones from the past. It's like it gets further and further away from your reach, from your grasp, to remember the details, to remember the lifelike qualities of it, of them, of the situation, of how it felt. And so the memories stop doing as much for you as they once did. This person is seeing you move on. They are. And there is something here where I think this person is saying, well, if this is meant to be, this person will come back around. And that is true. But it's also a very passive kind of attitude, right? Like, yeah, but unless someone else gets to them first, yeah, unless, you know, what is meant for you will not ever really pass you by. If something is in your highest and best good. And what I feel like is you're elevating, Pisces, you're facing your boogeyman, you're facing the mirror, you're recognizing that some things are not always meant to be, and you're allowing them, you're coming to a place of acceptance, and you're allowing them to be what they are without needing them to be something different. Where I feel like this person is still, you know, they're still working through a lot of stuff here. And you're getting away. You're elevating and moving beyond this person. And so the more we have multiple soulmates in this world. We don't just have one. And so the more you elevate, the more you know, work through these things and raise up to new heights. You know, there are new soulmates at those heights, at those levels, at those degrees. And, you know, nostalgia and human nature will always make us want the past person to kind of be the hero and to show up. It's hard to let that go. But you need someone that can meet you where you're at. You need someone that can be a vibrational match for you. Otherwise, you have to play small to match someone else who's not willing to elevate. And that becomes more and more painful because you're more and more aware. Some shift is happening here, Pisces. Some shift is really happening. Yeah. And it is for your benefit. It is for your happiness. Wow. You got something happening here for sure. You got the Four of Wands, the Three of Pentacles, the Page of Wands, and the Ten of Cups on the bottom of the deck. This is like pretty clear. Someone who you have long-term implications with is, you know, going to choose you and choose that path. They're going to be brave, they're going to be strong, and they're going to be like, yes, this is what I desire. You're it for me. And with the Three of Pentacles here, this is someone who wants to share a vision, who wants to share a plan, and who wants to build collaboratively with you. I've always said that the Three of Pentacles is that foundation that can't be shaken by the Tower. The fours really talk about foundations, and you have the Four of Wands here, and the Four of Wands represents us bringing things down from the ethers into reality. So this is something that you have dreamed of, that you have desired, that you've always wanted, emotional contentment with another person. And that's what you're bringing into your reality. With the Three of Pentacles, it is saying you're calling in someone who not only is choosing you, but they're choosing to share your vision, to share your plan, and to collaborate with you. This is a solid partner that is showing up in the material world. My God, you couldn't have more serious cards here. Wow, on the Four of Wands, you have the Wheel of Fortune, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Fool. So you have 10, 10, 0. Tens are completions, and zeros is, you know, that where we are moving into a new cycle energy, where nothing exists. There's a blank slate, and we're ready. We are wide open and empty and ready to be filled up by whatever the universe has in store for us, which looks like a very long-term relationship here with the Ten of Pentacles and the Four of Wands. The Sun card is clarifying the Page of Wands and the Three of Pentacles. Pisces, the Sun card It is extreme happiness. It's also healing. It's also clarity, but it can also talk about a reconciliation of soulmates. So this is a very high level soulmate who is probably healed, who is probably part of a healing process rather than a suffering process for you. Rather than being a lesson, they are a emotional support for you. They are, you know, and this is going to be incredibly clear to you. You are going to spot the difference, you know. Did you guys ever get those highlights magazines where you have to look for what it, you know, like the shoe and it's like in the tree, and that's what this is giving me. I don't know why, but it's kind of like you're going to be able to look at and see, you're going to look at the picture of your life with this person, and you're going to see everything that was wrong in all the pictures prior to this person. With the Hierophant and the Ten of Cups, like, hello, this is like a spiritual union, an emotional union. It is a contract union. It is, you know, this is heavy duty stuff. This is a very long-term energy. It's very serious here. If this is someone coming back around, which I don't know, I don't really see any evidence of that right now, but we'll keep going. But if it is, this is someone that they've made up their mind. They know, they're very clear about what they want now, and they want to build something with you long term. If this is someone new coming in, which with the Fool card here, it kind of indicates that to me. This is like, we have no history, we have no end and no beginning. There's nothing here that exists between us. We are unwritten, you know. They are someone who is very serious-minded, who has been also waiting for the universe to bring them something that they could invest in, that would be solid and stable, that would be the foundation of their, ultimately, their legacy. With the Ten of Pentacles, what you are seeking is seeking you. Now you're getting the Ten of Pentacles. You guys know that if you get the Ten of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles in a reading with me, that is like my surefire sign for you got a long-term relationship coming in. You've had two Ten of Pentacles now, a Ten of Cups, the Four of Wands, the Hierophant, the Sun. Like, hello. I mean, I don't know how much confirmation you guys need, but there is a major, major relationship coming in for you. This is definitely a soul contract, and this is definitely a soul contract with someone who has mastered their emotions. This is someone who can process emotions for themselves. This isn't someone who's going to come in and you're going to see the weakness in them, the injury in them, and want to love them out of that space, you know, into healing. This is someone who has done their own heavy lifting and has mastered themselves. We're not meant to do someone else's heavy lifting for them. There's a difference between, like, if I tell you I went to Alaska and it was cold, you're like, oh, okay, Alaska's cold. If you go to Alaska and you step out into the outside air, you're going to have the experience of Alaska being cold. Then it's completely and wholly different. Once you have experienced something, it is singed into you in a way in which me telling you what it's like could never measure up to, would never be the same as. And so when you do someone else's emotional heavy lifting for them, like when you say, oh, you're wounded, let me love you out of that. Let me love you through that. Let me love you so that you understand you're lovable. You are telling someone you are lovable instead of them working through it and finding that morsel within themselves that already knows it. We all have that. We all have that. And how we let people talk us out of that is beyond me. But that is part of our soul spark. Somewhere within us, it is there, and we just have to find it. And it is in the quest of finding it that we experience it. And once we experience it, no one can ever take it away from us again. Ever. Because we've experienced it. We know for sure. No one needs to convince us. We're not searching outside ourselves for it. We found it within ourselves. And once you find it within yourself, it's like, fuck you. You want to tell me I'm not lovable? Go fly a kite. Because I know I'm lovable. I don't need you to tell me that. This is someone who knows. This is someone who's coming to you in a space of stability and strength emotionally, having experienced it for themselves. And they have a soul contract with you, Pisces. They discovered their own capacity to process their own emotions and to be able to meet people deeply by meeting themselves deeply, because they never gave up on what they wanted. I think what they want is this legacy energy. It is the Ten of Pentacles. They want to build something solid and stable. And I think they looked at themselves and they said, what are the barriers that I have that are preventing me from having what I want? And look at all those wands behind them that are serving as a barrier, as a guard, that aren't letting love in. And they dismantled them one by one. And in the process of doing that, they found this. Beautiful. Jeez. Wow. They found clarity. They found the freaking truth. They found the truth. The wounded warrior found the truth. For some of you, this is a past person who would not let go. And in not being able to let go, you can only stay in this energy so long where you're like, oh, I want to reach out. Oh, I want Pisces. Oh, I can't stop thinking about Pisces. Till it becomes absolutely ridiculous to let anything stand in your way of it. And you finally have to look in the mirror and say, well, what the hell are you doing then? Why aren't you doing it? What is stopping you? And the minute you look in the mirror and the minute you ask that question, that's when the answer appears. You just have to be willing to sit with your truth. You just have to be willing to look in the mirror, even through the pain, even through the hurt, even through the scary parts, even through the fear. It will lead you to a better place. Facing our fears will always, I believe always, that has been my experience, that they always lead you to a better place. Always. I feel like I'm in a better place. I feel like something shifted within me just from my recent encounters with this snake around my house. And I hope that because I was recording this and we were in this reading, that those of you who are listening to it had a visceral experience with it and know that it's the truth by living through my experience with me. We're all witnesses. We are all spiritual beings having a human experience. We are all just walking each other home. Any way that we can help each other, any way that we can show through transparency and honesty what our human experience really is to one another is helpful. It is loving. It is a gift. I believe that. You have this Empress energy coming out on the King of Cups. And Justice. Damn. Wow. Heavy Libra energy there. God, sometimes I'm like, yes, I'm a Libra. Empress and Justice. But, this is that energy of it's giving me like we do have more than one soulmate. Not all of them, because of their human experiences and their free will choices and the things that are out of the universe's control, will be able to see the Empress in us, will be able to see the divine perfection in us, because they haven't been able to see it in themselves. but someone who has done the work will. And there will be success and there will be victory. So we can't take it personally. We just got to keep on trying on jeans till we find the perfect pair. We've just got to look at it like, well, that's not my pair. They weren't made for me. I'm not bad because these jeans don't make me look amazing or because I can't button them or zip them. That's not bad. That just means that isn't my pair of jeans. I just need to keep trying them on. I don't need to freaking keep standing here trying to suck it in. I don't need to go on some crash diet and lose 20 pounds so that maybe they're gonna fit me. I just need to try on a different pair. Maybe you're gonna be the one who saves me. Does anyone know what that is? You're my wonder wall. Is that like from the 90s? Gonna give it all to you. I don't believe anybody feels the way I do about you now. I don't know. Okay, okay, I don't sing. All right, here we go. Queen of Swords, Temperance, Four of Cups, Judgment. Wow, 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 wow. You know, the Queen of Swords, right, is another Libra energy, all right? But there, and we also have Leo energy here. We also have Sagittarius energy and Scorpio energy right now that I see here. Oh, we had the full Aries, Aquarius energy. The Queen of Swords here, I love the Queen of Swords. I am a Queen of Swords. It's someone who has lived through the entire sword cycle, right? So they've had their heart broken, they've been backstabbed, they've been deceived, they've been lied to, they've had self-defeating thoughts, they've self-sabotaged, they've been manipulated, they've had all these experiences that, you know, every one of those experiences, when we are facing it, we have the opportunity to say, what can I learn from this? Or allow it to shut us down, allow it to fill us with fear that it will ever happen again, and then live a smaller life because we experienced that one thing back there, right? That's part of the boogeyman energy. And it's like, will my innocence be lost? You know, allowing myself to be afraid of the boogeyman, because if I face the boogeyman and something happens to me, I may never be able to recover that part of me. Well, maybe that part of you was never supposed to be recovered. Maybe it's okay to lose that part of you. Maybe that part of you is opening up so that it can be replaced by something else. Who knows? But the Queen of Swords, when she's upright, she's gone through the entire sword cycle, and instead of making it, let her make her bitter, it makes her better. It makes her clearer, wiser, more discerning. It makes her cut to the heart of the matter. It makes her willing to cut things off that are not good for her, instead of continuing to put up with things that are tearing her apart from the inside out. She's like, oh, hell no. It doesn't make her afraid. She has this handout, right? Of come to me, tell me what you will. I'm going to see right straight through your bullshit. My daughter, you know, she's always like, yeah, I'm kind of very nervous for anyone I date to meet you, because they're going to think, she goes, every time I'm dating a guy and they say, oh, your mom's going to love me. Moms love me. She's like, you've never met a mom like mine. She's going to see right through you. And I don't know if you are into that, you know, like, I don't know if you can stand up to that challenge, you know? And I'm always like, she was dating this guy and he kept coming to pick her up, and like at college, and I would be like, I would be there and he would know that I was there. And I was like, you know, this is kind of rude that I'm not like going out and saying hi. I'm also a friendly person. I'm not like over here hiding or anything. And I'm also supportive as a mother, like, date whoever you want. That's your journey. But she would just run out the door and be like, bye, see ya. And I was just like, oh my gosh, what must he think that I'm not coming out? But then also she has her reasons. Like, she really doesn't want me to meet someone unless she's really serious about them. You know what I mean? Until she has decided for herself that that's what she wants. And I completely respect that. And, you know, she's a Pisces. But yeah, I was always like, gosh. And she was like, Mom, she was like, I will know when it's right. I will know when you're supposed to meet someone, because I'll let them, you know, and I'm not judging. I'm really not, you know, my son has brought his girlfriends home, and I'm so close with my son's girlfriend. We text each other. She comes to visit. It's like me and her are best friends and hanging out all the time. And we go out by ourselves together. You know, but yeah, it's funny, but my daughter's like, you're a Queen of Swords. Like, So, and she's like, I know what stick they're going to put on. I know they're going to be like, I'm a good provider. I'm a solid person. I'm, you know, trustworthy. And she was like, Mom, you might care about those things, but that's not really what you care about. And I was like, that is kind of true. And she's like, and you'll see, you'll find it. And I want to decide for myself. And I'm like, all right, okay, this is your world. I'm just living in it. But yeah, the Queen of Swords says how has these experiences that hurt and that cause suffering and that create these experiences. But she doesn't say, you know, I'm gonna let this wreck me. I may have lost some part of myself. I may have lost my innocence. She says, that's life. How is this serving me? How can I alchemize this experience into something that helps me to become more discerning? And, you know, how do I wield this sword in a responsible way? Like, not just cutting everything off because I can, but how do I give something enough rope to show me what it is, and then make a decision sitting on a firm foundation that, yes, you know, this is the right choice, and feel good about it and be at peace with it. If you cut something off too soon, or you don't give it a chance, you're really not at peace with it. The Temperance and the Four of Cups is a pretty powerful energy here. You know, this is healing from everything that's ever disappointed you in life. You know, it's understanding that life disappoints, that, you know, and what is disappointing? Is it because we had an expectation that things would go a certain way, or a desire that things would work out a certain way, and then they didn't, and then we were disappointed by it? Is that life's fault? Is that our fault? What is that? The Four of Cups has always kind of been like this mirage to me. You know, it's always like, you know, it's always kind of this like fake energy to me. And I don't know how to really describe it, but it is like, what the Four of Cups represents. It represents like missed opportunity, rejection, boredom and discontent, you know. And where did those things come from? Is rejection really rejection, or is it divine protection? Is rejection really rejection, or is it a reflection of that person in the way that they see themselves, and it has nothing to do with us? So we're not being rejected. Does it encourage us to take things personally? What is a missed opportunity? How do we know it was an opportunity if it was missed? How do we know that that was anything more than what it was? How do we know that for sure? You see what I'm saying? It's like, where's the weight? Where's the body? Where's the truth in it? It's all sort of illusionary. It's all sort of a possibility, but not really deeply rooted or grounded in reality or truth. And when we heal from those things, it really is just a rebalancing and a recentering and a shifting within us. Because we look back and we go, was that a missed opportunity? Was that rejection? Well, that person couldn't meet us as deeply as we were. And if I would have ended up with that person, I wouldn't have ever met this person. and I wouldn't be with, I wouldn't have this, and I wouldn't have that. When we're living it forward, we go, oop, rejection, trigger, oop, missed opportunity, trigger, oop, you know, boredom, discontent, trigger, you know, and we don't go back and go, oh, well, that's not really what that was. In hindsight, I can now see that that was this. That's why the hangman energy is so important, because it gives us that opportunity to look back and to shift our perspective and to see something clearly for what it truly is. With judgment, we're rising above our past. We're rising above our past, and we're rising above the things that would sort of have us play small. We're rewriting our history. We're not saying, oh, this happened to me, this happened to me, and this happened to me, and that's why I don't take chances. No, we're not even talking about what happened to us. We're saying, I'm in my power. All of those things were just fuel. I don't need to hold on to those individual stories. I can let those go. That's what brought me to this point where I can see clearly, where I can make solid decisions for myself, where I have the wisdom to know the difference of what something is when it's in front of me, when it's being presented to me. Damn. I almost said when I was like talking about Libra, how you have the Empress and Justice. And then I was like, well, the High Priestess is already taken, right, Pisces? And look what comes out, clarifying the Queen of Swords, another card of Pisces. The High Priestess, this is us in our highest and best, listening to our intuition and trusting our intuition, having the cojones to trust our intuition. Wow. To break through limited mindsets, to shed that skin. Wow. Guys, you have the Ace of Pentacles, the Five of Pentacles, and the Page of Wands. And this, you do have Judgment now, you do have Temperance now, you do have the Sun card now, you do have some cards that talk about reconciliation. For some people, this may be a past person coming back around in a very, very, very different energy. And they may really be feeling the loss of you, and they may not be able to take it, and they may understand what the assignment is, and they may be afraid of missing an opportunity with you, and really having realized that it is an opportunity because they have lost you. What an opportunity it was to be in your presence, to have that chance to be with you. Waiting on the line. Guys, I don't know what is up with the jukebox playing in my head. Waiting on the line just to be with you. I feel it's the 90s play mix today. I don't know what that is. It's like Mr. Big or something. Okay, I'm not a Pisces. You guys are human jukeboxes. I can sing 2 words and you're like, oh, I know what that is, and you put it in the comments. If you know these songs, put them in the comments. Okay. This is all this person breaking through a limited belief system, rising above a past version of themselves that could not meet someone deeply. And, you know, whether this is a past person that is finding their way to doing this, or whether it's a new person who has found themselves in a space where through their own experience, they are now able to process their own emotions through their own growth and self-development. And the losses that they have taken personally, they know that you make an offer to somebody who is worth it. You know what I mean? You don't take a chance on losing them. You choose them, you make it very clear, and you make a solid and stable offer. You don't let them get away. You don't lose them. And it's like this person's whole approach, what this person is offering, and the way that they're coming towards you, Pisces, even your intuition is telling you, wow, this person is in a space where I can really trust them. This is my opportunity to rise above my past experiences and experience a whole other echelon here of love, of relationship. Damn. For some of you, this really is a past person who is, they've been working on themselves, and they definitely see you as the one and only. They see you as their fate. They see you as the shining star, the one that stands above all others. You know, they have been sitting with this loss. They've been living with this loss, and they've been stuck at this crossroads where it's like, am I just going to try to let this go? Am I going to try to just live with this loss? Or am I going to try to do something about it? With the Two of Wands. With the Three of Wands, they've made their choice, and they are making a plan and a strategy, and it looks like to come towards you here in the energy of the Nine of Pentacles, where you really are attracting so much to you. And it is an energy of like, I better get there, because they maybe are very, you're shining, you're vibrant, you're giving off this aura and this energy of someone who is worthy of being chosen, someone who is very desirable and who many people may be interested in. And if they haven't discovered you yet, certainly they will. Whoa. You have the 2, the 3, and now the 4 of Wands, different decks. Yes, this person, wow, you have the King of Swords showing up here. You have the Queen of Swords. They're a divine pair. You know, there are a lot of pentacles here, the 8 of Pentacles, the 3 of Pentacles. For some of you, you may work with this person. For some of you, you may even be in like law enforcement or the military, or you know, like you could also be students or academics, or you know, in the law of some kind of way, you know, people who are doing the right thing. This person, I feel like, is coming into this space where they are showing up as your divine pair, where they are able to really show up in a matching energy with you. It's like through obstacle, possibly interference. This person is learning to cut things off. They're learning that you cut things off that are not serving you. Okay, feeling bad about a situation and not doing anything about it, that's not serving you. That's just a low vibrational energy that's going to bring you down and be very heavy to carry around for the rest of your life. Allowing other things to interfere with what you know is right, that is an escape tactic. That's an avoidant tendency. And so this person is cutting off things that have prevented them from being able to have their own wish fulfillment. They really are doing what Rumi says. They are seeking the barriers that exist within them to let them go in order to have love. 4 of Wands, I mean, this is serious intentions. This person has figured out how to master their own emotions. This person is processing things for themselves. They may never have been willing to do that before. They're stepping into unknown territory. Wow. All right, Pisces, let me get you guys some message cards. This reading is intense. My dog, Bhakti, like the windowsill is about like, I don't know, a foot, maybe a little more than a foot off the ground. Like I have really low windows. And he's laying on his dog bed with his chin in the window, just like watching for that snake to come back. It's so cute. It's so funny. He's so adorable, you guys. Oh. If you're dealing with a water sign, my karmic story is ending. Wow. I am afraid to trust. I remember everything you said. I've been having weird dreams about us. Okay. If you're dealing with a fire sign, you are the one. You deserve more. Wishy-washy. Yeah, you deserve more than their back and forth, their wishy-washiness. You are the only one who truly gets me. Yeah. If you're dealing with an earth sign, Your words speak to me like no others can. Angry. You give me so much to look forward to. I don't care what people think anymore. Okay, we had a flipper. All right. If you're dealing with an air sign, blocking. I am choosing you. Good intentions. Doubting. Bubber. And I am sending you telepathic messages. All right, guys. I don't know what he sees, but he sees something. All right, I'm gonna leave you here with this message. I hope it helps. I hope it brings you some peace and clarity. Thanks for hanging out with me, you guys. I adore you. Until next time, I send you off with all my very best. Always, always, always. Bye-bye.